What's up, everyone? Positive Pat here at Fortress Home Exteriors. Today is January 16, 2026, reading from Ryan Holiday's The Daily Dad. The title of today is Don't Let Your Kids Down. This is a quote from Stephen Pressfield. The warrior ethos rests on the will and resolve of Spartans to defend their children, their home soil, and the values of their culture. If you don't know the story of the 300 Spartans at Thermopylae, here's what happened. The ancient Greek king Leonidas led some 7,000 men, 300 of whom were Spartan warriors, into a battle against the invading army of Xerxes the Great and more than 300,000 Persian soldiers. The Spartans held the front line for 2 days, but on the third they were finally overrun. Leonidas ordered the 300 Spartans to remain and fight, sacrificing himself and his men to allow Greece to live and fight another day. How did Leonidas choose the 300 warriors he would lead out to the hot gates to battle an overwhelming enemy? They were all, quote, fathers of living sons, end quote, according to Plutarch. You might think it would have been the opposite, that parents would be allowed to sit out a potential suicide mission, but that's not how it worked in Sparta. These warriors were chosen because parents would never want to let their kids down. These fathers would fight most bravely, most fiercely, not only to protect what they had back at home, but to protect the reputations of their family names, which might be all their children had left if they were to fall in battle. To abandon their comrades or behave in a cowardly way would be to risk great shame and the possibility of letting down the family that so looked up to them. Our kids are whom we should want to impress. They're the ones we should never want to let down. They're not only the ones we're fighting for, but also the ones whose standards, whose natural admiration and love we should always be fighting to live up to. So making that as a comparison between familial and business leadership, I think you could just say, don't let your team down. Let them see that you're going to fight for them. And you can do that in a variety of ways. One of the ways you can do that is if they make a mistake, then fight for them to improve on it and don't just come at them swinging. Have more patience, and that in and of itself is a way that you can fight for your team to get better. And then if they're not willing to do that, then you may have to have another conversation. But make sure you're standing up for your team when the time calls for it. All right, take it easy, guys.